listen, it does not need to be a new year, a new you. It just needs to be a new year, a healthier you. Because sure, okay, they trying to take us down at every front. So get some TLC products and up that metabolism and up that energy and up that immune system, okay, that digestive system. Get that all together with these TLC products right here. And don't forget, okay, sign up for ifyoucanmove.com and become a part of the online gym and shed the pounds, honey. We're starting a new challenge on January 3rd, and I would love to see y'all there. Get the links down below. So you guys, hi. I hope everyone is doing okay as the Capitol is imploding, as if this is Hunger Games or something of that nature. Either way, while the epic is going on, I wanted to come over here and give y'all This Is Us as to not be too far behind in my videos. And I know a lot of you are looking for it. So I am doing this like this because I had a chemical peel and I am just not comfortable being on camera right now. So this is what you're going to get. And I would have done screenshots, but I did not want the people of CBS, ABC, or whatever station This Is Us on coming for me. I just don't have time for it. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, this is what we're gonna do right here. My face and my voice, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. If not, oh well, I tried. So we pick up episode 5 with Kate telling Toby that she had an abortion when she was 18 after breaking up with that abusive schmuck that she was dating. You guys remember him, you know? It was like, why though? He's not even cute. You know what I'm saying? He was okay, but not cute enough to be abusing me and talking to me crazy. Like, and then you an alcoholic, and then you like a bum. Like, that's way too many negatives. Like, never mind. I don't even want to know what the sex was like, Kate. I don't even want to get into it. Let's move on. So Toby doesn't understand how she could not have told him this. I mean, they went through this whole trying to get pregnant situation for 2 years. So it's just really confusing as to why this never came up, okay? But either way, she wants to leave all of that in the past. Toby, however, has the emotional intelligence to say, well, hun, if you're still lying about it and, not necessarily lying, but not telling him something that huge about yourself, it obviously still bothers you. It obviously still hurts you. Okay? So later, she does a search online for her ex schmuck. His name is Mark, I think. She decides to go and see him in San Diego, and she asks Toby to come along. And of course, being the beautifully supportive husband that Toby is, he is going to ride shotgun and sit in the car as she has an awkwardly weird conversation with an ex-boyfriend from when she was 18 years old. So yeah, things are gonna get a little weird. So we get a flashback. Okay, Kate is going to the doctor to see about getting the abortion alone. Okay, and when she gets home, Rebecca is leaving a message on the machine. Hey, Kate, just checking in. Kevin's play was amazing. All of that, because Kevin, his new wife, I forgot that little girl's name, but y'all know they've been together their whole lives and then they got married, okay? And then it's Randall and Beth, but everybody's like 18, so it's college versions of everyone, okay? And they're all up in New York seeing Kevin do a play, and she's there alone getting an abortion from her abusive boyfriend. And I know she wanted to tell her mom, and I think she never did, which is crazy because her mom could tell something was wrong. We'll get to it, but like, I just kind of feel like even if you were going to do it, I still feel like at some point she should have let someone be there for her. Going through that alone, I feel like it's crazy how it seems like almost everybody in his family goes through something alone because they can't be honest with how they're feeling. It's crazy because she's not the only one. Randall, went through the same thing with his blackness. Like, he was never expressing that to anybody, and now we find out that Kate, had this huge thing happen for her and she never said anything, so I'm wondering what else is being hid
amongst the group. And what is Kevin hiding? Just saying. Like, I know it's something. But anyway, during this time when they were 18, Kevin's acting career is really starting to pop, okay? We get to present time and we're watching Toby and Kate in the car on the way to meet Mark, right? He doesn't know they're coming or anything, but she knows where he works, okay? It's just like a record store or a store where you buy instruments, like something like that, okay? Like a music store, whatever. And it's obvious that he's still a bum, okay? But we did get like a little flashback of her going to see him after they had broken up, and I'm guessing she was going to tell him that she was pregnant, right? He's all excited to see her. He fixes her favorite breakfast, says he misses her, and he's so sorry about what happened when he went up to the cabin. Y'all know he left her out in the cold, in the snow, y'all, for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had called her mom, I think, and then he went back to get her. Am I right about that? Or did they come and get her? I think they had to go and get her. I can't remember, you guys. I think he came back to get her. It was a while ago, and I reviewed so much stuff that I can't remember. Either way, he was totally, totally, totally an asshole for leaving her out there like that. And it was freezing outside. I was just like, wow, anything could have happened. You know what I'm saying? I think she was walking down the road and they found her. I think that's what happened. Or no. He went back to get her. No, yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm remembering now. He went back to get her. Then when they got to the house, he locked her out of the house in the snow. And then her brother saw that I think it was Kevin that saw, or Randall, I can't remember, but somebody saw that the window was broken from when she got back into the house because she was about to freeze to death because he locked her out of her own house. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh my God, I cannot stand him. Okay, but either way, she goes to see him to tell him about the pregnancy. And he basically goes from being excited about seeing her to acting like a complete asshole because she has something serious to talk to him about. It's like his whole mood changes, and they try to just watch TV, but he's feeling some type of way. So now he needs a drink. He has to go and get a beer. And when he's about to come back with the beer, she kind of looks around and realizes that he's still treating her like shit. So she leaves. And I'm guessing that's when she decided to go ahead and go through with the abortion. So we, fast forward back to Toby and Kate going to see him. And like I said, he's a bum pretending to be a music manager. He tells Kate that, she was broken in all the best ways. You know what I'm saying? And things kind of got heated between the two of them. But, they were just kids. And Kate is like, oh no, the fuck you just did not trivialize what you did to me. She says, no, sir. You were a 24-year-old man, and I was an 18-year-old girl who was dealing with her father passing away. I was dealing with grief. I wasn't broken, and you took advantage of my grief. You held my confidence and my self-esteem in your hand, and you crushed it whenever you felt like it. And she says it took years to heal from that relationship. And now I realize that it was you that was the disease. You. And now I want to give you all of that back. All of that you put on me, I want to give it right back to you. So good luck with that, Mark. Oh, bum ass. Okay. And then, she also mentioned that her beautiful, amazing husband was sitting in the car on the corner and he wanted to come and beat him into the ground, but decided not to. You know what I'm saying? Because she just needed to get that off her chest, And then we get the flashback to Kate lying on a table and getting the abortion, which we realize now was probably, a good decision. I know some people don't agree with that, but nobody wants to be stuck tied to a man like that. Because I feel like back in the day, like I know this was the 90s, but I still feel like some part of her having a baby for him would have made her stay in a relationship with him longer. And who knows what type of other abuse she would have gone through, if she would have been tied to him in that way. So some things, you just got to make that decision for yourself. In the car, she tells Toby he looks so small to her, still rambling on about empty ass dreams that he's never going to accomplish, So she thanks Toby for being there with her, but also allowing her to save herself because that is so important for women to be able to save ourselves. We don't always need a white knight. Sometimes we need somebody to support us in being the strong and, boisterous women we are, to be able to go up to somebody and say what we have to say and then leave it right there on the floor like she did, with his jaw. Okay, because you can tell he felt little and small. His manager, who looked younger than him, had come outside and screamed at him for taking 3 smoke breaks in 1 hour. I mean, dude's life looks shitty. Okay, so I'm sure she's walking away, feeling much better about her life. And plus, it's a transference of energy. I truly believe in the transference of energy, you guys. And sometimes people put all of their negative shit on you and it stays with you and it sticks with you because they didn't just put it on you in a moment. They put it on you in several moments when you are most impressionable and most in grief and looking for someone to make you feel good. So she thanks Toby for being all that he is to her. And I'm so glad because, for so long, I thought Kate was going to ruin everything with Toby. I really did. You know what I'm saying? Because she will, make him to blame for all her issues. She does that a lot, you guys. But anyway, so Kevin and Madison, you guys, they are anticipating their twins and getting things ready. I think they're supposed to be meeting with like a celebrity nanny or something like that. And Kevin is super duper excited about it. And he gets a call from his agent saying that they're moving this film that he's been working really hard on to Vancouver because there's less COVID in Canada, better leaders. Like, sorry to put that out there, but Lord, I mean, I would be regressed if I didn't make the mention after everything that is going on today. So he would have to leave the next day. And he tells his agent that he's not doing that. And Madison is like, what was going on the phone, And he explains what happened. And she's like, no, you've been working so hard for this film. You have to go. Plus, he'll be back 5 weeks before the babies are due. So it's not like he's going to be gone the entire rest of her pregnancy or something like that. So they have an interview with the celebrity nanny, and it's obvious that they have not discussed what the future looks like for their family because Kevin just automatically assumes that Madison and the kids are going to be traveling all over the world with him, to work because God knows how long this is going to last. Or, movies just sometimes are filmed in different places. Everything isn't always going to be on a lot in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Madison thought, but apparently she didn't think this is what life was going to be like for her family. Kevin is at a loss. He doesn't even know what to say to her when they have this conversation after the nanny leaves because it's like, girl, like I've been an actor. You just told me to leave and go out of town for this job. And now you're telling me that you don't want me to have this job because it's going to move us around the world. What does Madison do for a living? What does Madison do for a living? Somebody put it in the comments because I don't remember. I just kind of feel like, girl, girl, like, are you really, going to stop this man or halt this man from being a successful actor when that's all he's ever wanted in his life, all he's really been good at? And I understand, like, as we look more at Kevin in this situation, it might be the best decision to stay put. But what is he going to do? And what type of person is he going to be when he can't be, Kevin the actor? You know what I'm saying? He finds a lot of self-confidence and assurance in who he is in his profession. It's one of the only things that makes him feel good about himself. So I feel like Madison would be asking him to give up more than she thinks she would be asking him to give up. And I feel like whatever she does, in all honesty, I kind of feel like, sis, you need to figure out a way to make it work because he should not have to give up his profession just because y'all had kids. There are so many actors who have families and somehow prove to make things work. Okay, they have nannies, they have people with them, they travel together. And I mean, he's giving you the option of a private jet. It's not like, like you're gonna be first class commercial, which is cool, but it's not the same thing as private during, these times. So I just kind of feel like Madison is doing too much right now. And it could be because of the pregnancy hormones or whatever, but I looked at it as an amazing journey and adventure to take with someone you love. Like, why not? If he can afford to make sure that y'all are comfortable and y'all have everything y'all need and y'all are together, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything doesn't have to be, we have to be in this house. You know what I'm saying? Especially if y'all could pay for like tutors and stuff. Like, man, get out of here. And then y'all, it's not like y'all don't have family members who are going to have kids around the same age. So your kids are definitely going to be able to be around other kids. And that's something that you just mark out time for, to make sure that your kids get, you know, socialized in the world and things of that nature, and not just around adults all the time. But I think Madison needs to think about this. And I don't think it needs to be put on Kevin as if it's like, what are you going to do? And I feel like that's what she did to him, you know? So Kevin is leaving, okay, to go to Vancouver to film this movie. And they have a conversation. And first he starts to make all these promises to her. And she tells him, listen, take this time to figure out what you really want and to be real with yourself about what our situation is, you know? So he says goodbye to her and the babies. And then we get a flashback of Randall, once he got back to school, calling Kevin and telling him not to move to LA to extend his career, because the agent wants him to come to LA and, you know, do pilot season. And this is going to jumpstart his career. You know, this is a big thing for Kevin. And Randall is calling him, telling him not to do it because it would put his marriage with Sophie. That's her name, Sophie. It would put his marriage with Sophie in a bad place. And it did, because I believe that's really why they ended up breaking up, because they grew apart during that time. She was in college, so she was going to stay in New York, and he was going to go to LA and do the acting thing. So them being, first of all, being young and kind of rushing into marriage in the first place, I feel like it might have ended even if he had stayed. But either way, you know, now Kevin is remembering that situation and wondering what he should do. Should he make that same decision again, where he puts his career first? Now he has 2 kids. It's not just a marriage. So he thinks about, you know, what would Randall do? Everyone is still like laughing about Randall's striptease over that city briefing online. Y'all remember that? That was hilarious. I actually just saw a post of Sterling K. Brown. And he looked like he was at a strip club. They were taping for I think it was Kate's bachelorette party, and like the strippers are like ripping Randall's clothes off. Get him. Like, oh Lord, that man fine. You know, and everybody are like dancing with no shirt on, looking like him basically, or with like, you know, a muscle shirt that makes him look like he has really big muscles. It was kind of funny when he walks into the office and everybody's like dancing and doing doing Randall's little dance that he did online. That shit was so funny. But either way, Jaywan comes in and says that something came in, and it's an email from Laurel, his mom, who Randall thought died right after he was born, her boyfriend, okay, hi, who says that Laurel actually passed in May 2015. So now Randall is having a mental breakdown. And instead of calling his therapist, he decides he's going to go on a run, because he feels like William must have lied to him about if his mother was dead or not. And I'm like, why is that the first thing you go to? That William lied to you? You know what I'm saying? But I guess what else could he think, you know? So he actually ends up calling his therapist while he was on his run. So he's like sitting on a park bench talking to his therapist. And the therapist makes him realize that knowing William helped him, because his whole life he's been trying to find out who he is and have some type of connection to, you know, his genetics and who he is as a black man in this world, his parents, like his line, like that matters. I know people try to act like it doesn't matter. There are moments where it doesn't. Like, nobody should be putting their bloodline above, you know, if people want, you know, like back in the day when people wanted to get married and it's like, no, you're not of noble blood and all of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because all in all, everybody's blood is the same. And it's how treacherous you are to steal, and, you know, the good business you may do. Because it could be one or the other. And a lot of the times it's, you know, the former. Or wait, no, the first one. Child, whichever. You're stealing. Okay? A lot of people have amassed great amounts of wealth off of stealing goods and ideas, and also people. Let's not forget about people. But the therapist makes him realize that him being on this journey his whole life to find out who he is. Like, there was even a time back in the day where Randall was trying to find his mom, and he put an ad out in a newspaper, and then some woman, showed up claiming to be her, asking for money, and it traumatized him so much that he never looked again. And now he's thinking about a mother who was alive and had 35 years to find him, and she never did. So it's like, in one breath, I'm mad at William because I think he lied, which you don't know that's the truth. And then in another breath, I feel like my mom never looked for me, and you don't know that's the truth. So the therapist was able to put things in perspective for Randall and make him realize that he's already on this journey of self-discovery. He might as well dive in deep and find out who his mother was, okay? So while he's online looking high up and deciding if he's going to call him or not, Kevin calls asking for advice. And he says he often thinks about what would Randall do. And it touches Randall because, they've been beefed out lately, and they both said some really nasty things to one another. So when he called Randall and said that, Randall teared up, And he also asked about what Kate told him. He was like, Kate told me that you said that you kept a lot of things to yourself about being Black when we were growing up. And he was like, that's terrible. And, Randall puts the phone down because he's getting emotional. And in that moment, Beth comes in, and he realizes he wants to call High and find out about his mother. So he tells Kevin he'll call him back. And I don't know if Kevin, thought that was him not being receptive or not, but I'm sure they'll have a conversation later on, hopefully, child, because the two of them, they'll stay fighting for the longest. But he calls High, and High is very happy to hear from him, and he says, High, I just want to ask you a straightforward question. He was like, my father William told me that my mother died of an overdose not long after I was born. Did he lie to me? And High says, I believe William was telling you what he thought to be true. So it wasn't a lie. And that somehow William was never made aware that Laurel was still alive. And somehow Laurel never reached out to William or Randall, for that matter, from what we understand. But it was such a relief to know that William didn't lie to him. So he starts to cry, and Beth takes over the conversation. And, she asks where he is, and he says he's in Orleans Parish here in New Orleans. That's where I'm from. I'm not in Orleans Parish, but I live on the outskirts of Orleans Parish, not that far. I'm actually like 15 minutes outside of the city, and that's because it's cheaper here and it won't flood. I love my city, and I grew up in said city, but I feel like at the end of the day, like, if you go in the city to go grocery shopping because they don't have one in your area, if you go in the city for whatever, like, you live in the city. Like, it is what it is as far as I'm concerned, okay? But either way, they live in New Orleans, and Beth and Randall decide they're going to go down there to learn about Laurel because High said that he wanted to show them, wanted them to see the things that Laurel loved and where she lived. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to take that journey. But it was a really good episode, you guys. And as soon as my husband came home and I told him I watched it and made my notes, he was like, so did you cry? Because you're always crying on damn This Is Us. But I love it. It's such a good show, okay? Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed just hearing my voice and seeing my beautiful face when it was beautiful, because right now it's not. I got a chemical peel chill and my face is a hot ass mess right now. So until it completely peels, I'm going to be doing videos in this format. Okay, so deal with it. Love you guys. See you in the next one.